Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for today's video. I'm going to share with you some thoughts on new fragrances. And some of these are new on the market, and some are just new to me and maybe new to you as well. I do have the new Viktor and Rolf Pretty Peony, so I'll share my thoughts on those in just a minute. But I wanted to start off with a fragrance that I actually tried in one of these similar kinds of videos before called Florentine Diamond from Thameen. And I love this in that video. I thought it was one of the most fabulous, exquisite, decadent, beautiful, feminine new perfumes on the market that really captured me. And I've had mixed reviews here in the house. So I wanted to share both of those impressions, which I think is really interesting. I just knew this was going to be a slam dunk here in my house. It's a slam dunk with me, though, and I have it on. It is my scent of the day. My memory of trying it on before is that it was almost like a gourmand leaning floral in that. Definitely a floral fragrance, but it has some sweet touches to it that made it more than just a floral fragrance. So let me share some of the notes here with you. This has top notes of mandarin and cocoa. The mandarin to me is perhaps not noticeable. You do get this sort of soft, delicate, sweet chocolate nuance that isn't obvious in your face, but it's like a whisper of chocolate. In the heart, it's tuberose, sugarcane, and barley. So the majority of the wearing experience of this fragrance is a sweet floral. The base notes are vanilla, oak chips, and oud. For me, it's primarily vanilla with what comes across to my nose as sort of like an ambery background, like it's golden and soft and maybe sweet. Overall, the experience for me is a slightly edible tuberose fragrance with a little delicate ribbon of some kind of chocolate off in the distance, like it's wafting through the air ever so lightly. And then the vanillic base. Those are primary to me. So it's sweet. It's really super warm and feminine. This is, if you remember the video I did, if you watched it, it's called A Mom's Hug in a Bottle. It reminds me of a cross of a mom's hug in a bottle. Like this is a very sort of cocooning, enveloping, soft, round, warm fragrance combined with some sort of sensual nature to it. It's both sensual and comforting at the same time. And I think it's pretty beautiful. You do need to enjoy tuberose to enjoy this fragrance. I feel like it is the dominant floral. And although not disclosed, I would venture to say that maybe this has some other florals in it as well, perhaps a jasmine note. Definitely a vanillic base. If you do pick up oud, it's coming across as really soft, sensual oud. And then you have that little bit of sugariness and a little touch of chocolate. And I think it's just such a fabulous combination. Well, now that I'm smelling it again, maybe I do pick up a little bit of a citrus nuance, but I would say the citrus is very, very slight, if anything at all. This is for me a tuberose lover's dream fragrance. It's a combination in some ways of all of the aspects that I enjoy from other tuberose scents. It's both warm, it's feminine, it's very sort of womanly, mature, sophisticated. I really like this. The opening of the fragrance is perhaps the most captivating, and then it settles down into a vanilla and tuberose and slightly ambery, maybe woody base. And I think it's beautiful. The reactions in this house were mixed because I asked my son and his girlfriend to rate this with the other two fragrances that I'm going to mention at the top of the video. And one gave this a 5 out of 10, the other gave it a 6 out of 10, and my husband said it smells okay. So I was really surprised by their reactions. I happen to really enjoy this. I am a tuberose lover, maybe that's why. And I appreciate that this is a sweet leaning tuberose scent. So this gets a thumbs up from me. I would probably rate this like an 8.5. And if it had stronger longevity and the opening of it stayed true throughout, it would be a full on 10 for me. I think this is really good. Give this a try. You can find samples of this on, I don't know if they have it on Scent Split. I'll put it on the screen if they have it on Scent Split. And then definitely on Twisted Lily. This was given to me by Twisted Lily. So I tried it out in that other video. I knew I loved it. And when they asked if I wanted to try a new fragrance, I picked this one, Florentine Diamond, because I knew that I really enjoyed it. So thank you to Twisted Lily for sending over Florentine Diamond for my collection. If you're interested in this or a sample of it, you can use the code Veronica10 on your Twisted Lily order, and you can use it site-wide for 10% off of your whole order. So that's Florentine Diamond. So next is a fragrance that is not new, but it is new to me, and I wanted to share where you can find it because it was hard to find for a long time. It's from A Lab on Fire, and it's called Messy, Sexy, Just Rolled Out of Bed. What a name, right? I do have from this line What We Do in Paris is Secret, which is freaking a fabulous, powdery, soft, beautiful, ethereal vanilla. And I'd heard a lot of good things about this as well. I recently wore this, and I have to tell you, this one is a gem. I posted a video, maybe it's as long ago as a week ago by the time this video posts, that was called like the bridesmaids fragrances. And they were the current obsessions in the clean and cozy category that I am just absolutely obsessed with this year. And if I had had this by the time I filmed that video, this one would have made its way into that video as well, but it arrived afterward. What a beautiful fragrance. The top notes here are vanilla and musk, which are interesting as top notes. In the middle, there's a lot happening, but of the notes called out here, there's something floral, heliotrope, musk, white woods, tonka bean. It's a really soft, pillowy, very feminine, nearly gourmand, slightly sweet, like cushiony middle that's powdery as well. Did I say powdery already? It has a powdery touch to it. The base notes, powdery, soft skin scent, minimal, creamy, floral, citrus. Overall, this fragrance is cozy and clean. It has a clean, bright nature to it. There is at least one citrus note, bergamot, that's called out here, but it is sweet and soft and pillowy and feminine. It has almost like a squishy, it's not, doesn't smell like marshmallows, but like a marshmallowy texture. If you think about how squishy a marshmallow is, this fragrance has that kind of texture to it. The vanilla comes through, the heliotrope, the musk, bright, a little bit floral and powdery. And it is delightful, like a second skin, comfortable, beautiful, warm set of fresh pajamas on you, something like that. And it's feminine and pretty. You can find this on Olfactory Factory. That's where I purchased this. And I'm not sure where else to get it. It might be like on Lucky Scent, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, beautiful. Like I would give this a 9 out of 10 in terms of the category of fragrance that I like. I don't feel like it lasted super duper long, maybe like a half-ish day wear. And then I caught little wafts and whiffs of it here and there, but it is overall a softer, more gentle fragrance. I guess I should say that this one was rated an 8 out of 10 by my son and his girlfriend. Okay. So this one was rated higher than Florentine Diamond, which shocked me. But then again, Florentine Diamond is a more mature fragrance. So I wouldn't expect sort of younger people to fall in love with this one the way they might with the Lab on Fire one. Moving along, I presume many of you are here to hear about Flowerbomb's Pretty Peony, the newest one in the lineup as a flanker of Flowerbomb, the original. I do own Flowerbomb, the original. I own Tiger Lily. I own the one with the powder note, and the name is escaping me. Flowerbomb Nectar, I think it's called. Beautiful fragrance. And I've tried others. They're all pretty. I haven't met one that I didn't like, but this Pretty Peony is gorgeous. Now, you have to like a floral fragrance and you have to enjoy a fruit chewy type of fragrance, meaning a fragrance that has fruity and patchouli notes together. This is floral, fruity, and patchouli all the way. It is strong, long lasting, very, very pretty scent, in my opinion. The primary notes called out on the Sephora site: strawberry, peony, and musk. And I would say that that is accurate. Those are the primary players in this fragrance. When I first sprayed it on, immediately I thought, oh, wow, this is an interesting flanker. It definitely has the original Flower Bomb DNA, so that floral, musky, patchouli type of scent. And on top of that is what is for me a fairly pronounced perfumey strawberry note. So it doesn't smell like a pure strawberry. It smells like strawberry in artistic perfume form. And I really, really like it. Sort of reminds me of if you have tried Venom Incarnate from Stefan Humbert Lucas, the way that I think there's a strawberry note in there that shows up fairly perfumey in nature. It's like that here. And then the floral is so beautiful. It's peony that's called out, of course, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are other floral notes in the fragrance also. And peony is this really soft, almost like it smells like the color pink. If pink had a color, soft, delicate, slightly rosy in nature, like rose-esque without having a distinct rose tone to it. If you've smelled rose fragrances, it's like if you stripped it back to its softest, most velvety form, like a velvety, soft baby rose. It's kind of like and watered it down a little bit. That's what a peony smells like to me, or peony in fragrances anyway. So beautiful. This gets a big thumbs up. It's got nice projection and pretty good longevity. I wore this 2 days in a row and it lasted quite a long time. I could smell it well into the evening hours. I kept getting whiffs of it. So big thumbs up on Pretty Peony. It's available at Sephora. I forgot to talk about my lipstick of the day, so let's do that before we get to the other fragrances. I'm wearing Lisa Eldridge Audrey It is a like a pink salmon color, and it comes in this Rouge Experience bullet like this, has the Lisa Eldridge stamp on it, and then these are interchangeable, so you can order different bullets, and that's what the color looks like. It's sort of like a satin sheen. It's not quite matte. And anyway, it snaps together like that. This is a full metal case. It's really pretty. It's meant to be like an Art Deco piece, nice and hefty. And then for a lip liner, it's a color that's actually pretty similar and blending in with this. And that is the color Up and Down Tan from Makeup Forever. Looks like that. So you barely see it around the edges, kind of lending a little bit of warmth around the edge. On my eyes, I have the new Soft palette from Natasha Denona, the what is it called? Soft Sculpt Tone and Texture palette. It's a long name, and then it came out in 2 color stories. One is the dramatic one that has the warm tones, and then there's one called Soft that has a little bit more pastel-y or subdued tones, and that's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It looks more dramatic in person, but it's nice and soft on the camera. Let's try some more fragrances together here. I have sampled some of the ones that we're gonna talk about, and others are first try here on screen with you. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, then I wanted to try out 2 fragrances from Chris Collins. I fell in love with Forbidden Apple Croque Moi, ordered that in the Sephora sale. I had a travel spray, wore it twice, loved it, and then ordered the full bottle, wore that a full time. That is a win, but I wanted to try African Rooibos. Spoiler alert, I did try it a little bit and have some thoughts about it. And then I also wanted to try out Lust Oud Delice, which I also did a little quick spritz on, so I have some thoughts about that. I wanted to try out Vanilla Tana from Gritti, the new one, as well as Café des Delices from Maison Mataha. And then let's pause there. I have many, many more samples, but I wanted to do a shorter video. I already see it's longer than I intended, so let's go. So let's start off with Lust Oud Delice from Chris Collins. This is described as warm and spicy. Earlier today, when I was getting ready, I was blow drying my hair and had sprayed it in the crook of my elbow. And as I lifted my arm to work on my hair, I kept catching this whiff of amazingness and thinking, did I say whiffed with a T? Pardon me, just with an F. Whiff with 2 Fs. Is it 1 F or 2 Fs? Ooh, these videos. Anyway, I kept catching this beautiful whiff and thinking, "What is that?" And reminding myself that I spritzed Lust Oud Delice. I've heard a few people talk about this and they all raved about how beautiful it is. For me, without looking at the notes or knowing what the notes were, it came across as very warm, slightly masculine, like definitely unisex and slightly masculine, probably for some people, and maybe for other people, fully masculine, but very sophisticated, a little spicy, a little sweet, dark, mysterious, woody. Okay, so let's look at the notes here. The key notes called out on the Sephora website are dark chocolate, hazelnut, and oud. It says oud asafi, but I don't know what the asafi part means, and I'm not going to look it up in the interest of time. So the description talks about this evoking the deepest realms of sensuality and desire. I remember thinking something like that, like, ooh, if someone were wearing this near me, I would want to go sniff them closely, like get up in the crook of their neck and get a better sense of what this smelled like. It's supposed to capture the essence of deep carnal desire. Lord have mercy, that's like X rated. An olfactory masterpiece that embodies the profound connection between two hearts yearning for one another. Wow, that's a little dramatic, but I think this is fabulous. It is very warm. You know what? This is like, if you think about Killian's Black Phantom, it's sort of in that family. If you mixed Black Phantom with Fève Delicieuse, if you remember that one, which is now discontinued, if you merged those two together and took out what sometimes smells like the peanut buttery aspects of Black Phantom, you might get a sense of what Lust Oud Delice smells like. It's really, really good. You have to be in the mood for something dark, slightly spicy, a little bit ooey gooey, like, in terms of, like, a sweet, sort of gooey texture to it, a little bit delectable, and definitely evoking desire. I mean, this is one where you're like, "Oh, I really wanna know more about that thing," like, in a visceral way. It evokes a visceral reaction for me. So this is really good. I'd like to explore this some more. I'm not sure if I would want an entire full bottle. I could definitely see my husband wearing this and it's smelling amazing on him. I could see myself wearing it in cold weather. It's that kind of scent where it's like an under the sweater or under your coat kind of scent, where if it's peeking out, you would smell just amazing. So here's why we're always telling people you have to try on skin and not just on paper. So this is African Rooibos, also from Chris Collins. I have had Rooibos tea in South Africa, where I believe that it originated. I don't know if it originated in that country or just in the southern part of the continent. But on paper, this is not giving much of what it gives on skin. On paper, it actually smells like a spicy, clean fragrance. On skin, however, let me do a little spritz. It's giving a much deeper, more pungent, pronounced experience. This is classified as earthy and woody, and according to Sephora, it's citrus and woods. Rooibos tea accord, cardamom, immortelle flower absolute as the key notes. I remember thinking this did smell like an oversteeped tea, and that's the part of the fragrance that I think is maybe a little bit unappealing to me. I can see how people really love this. I've had a number of you advise me to try this out and say that you really love this fragrance. And I can see why. It's spicy, it is earthy, it's a fairly deep fragrance. It's got a lot of body and personality for sure. I think maybe just because I'm in the clean, cozy era, this fragrance isn't appealing to me. If I had sniffed this maybe a couple of years ago, I would have been madly in love with this. And maybe in a couple of years, I will be madly in love with this as taste change again, or my focus on a different olfactive family switches to something else. Right now, this is a little bit on the dry side, a little bit on the spicy side, a little bit on the oversteeped tea side for me. But I can absolutely see how people love this. And I can see how this translates really like almost exotic and interesting and alluring in the air. This next one is for coffee and gourmand lovers. If you like both of those categories, you'd be very interested in Café des Delices. This is from Maison Mataha. And I really like this, not for myself, but I give this fragrance like a full thumbs up. It reminds me quite a bit of Coffee Addict from Theodoros Kalatinis. If you try that one that came out maybe 3-ish, 4-ish years ago, where it smells like coffee that is infused with one of the syrups, like maybe a hazelnut syrup. The notes here are coffee cream and biscuit at the top, and in the middle, vanilla, musk, and tonka bean in the base. For me, like what's pronounced for me is definitely like almost a syrupy, vanillic base. I even pick up a sort of a nutty accord in the fragrance and definitely coffee. It says coffee cream, but for me, it smells like coffee. Well, coffee that has a little cream in it. It doesn't smell like black coffee where there's like that bitterness to it. I love black coffee. I drink my coffee black. Definitely smells like coffee that's been doctored up. And it's a nice smell. I don't these days want to smell like coffee myself, but I know people that love coffee. If you are a coffee scent lover, do get your nose on this one. It's got a lot of richness and body to it, and it has just enough sweetness without being sort of suffocating or cloying. So I give this one a thumbs up for what it is, a coffee gourmand fragrance. It definitely has enough punch and body to make it through this fall and winter season and have a presence in a room. This one was available on So Avant-Garde, and I had like a weekend sale where I believe it was either 40 or 50% off of the Gritti fragrances. And y'all snatch this up. It was gone within hours of the sale. This is Vanilla Tana, one of the newer ones from Gritti. I haven't tried the other one, the pairing that came out with this one. People are loving this. It is currently sold out. It came out on the market at 335 whopping dollars. Ay Dios mío. It is a pretty vanilla. If you're a vanilla lover, it is worth trying. Is it a unique and different vanilla? Maybe not so much, but it is gorgeous as it is. You know, part of the challenge is that there are so many vanillas in the market is saturated to the brim with vanilla after vanilla fragrance. So in that sense, it gets really challenging to impress, someone that is a vanilla lover and has very many vanillas in their collection. And if you are a vanilla collector and you want every amazing vanilla out there, you may want to check out Vanilla Tana. This is lovely. It's a warm, almost buttery vanilla, and it has a lightness to it. It's like thin. Oh, so it has a buttery smell, but a thin texture. This is not a heavy, cloying, overwhelming vanilla. I feel like it's lighter and wispier, but it has a sort of buttery undertone in the scent to it. And it has a floral aspect. The top notes are vanilla orchid, ylang ylang, and pink pepper. In the heart, there's vanilla absolute, tonka bean, and baobab wood. interesting. Like I've never smelled a baobab wood note in isolation, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be getting there. In the base, there's vanilla caviar. And the reason that I paused to say vanilla caviar specifically and wanted to mention something here is that vanilla Tana reminds me slightly of Black Opium Le Parfum that has the different vanillas in it. And I believe there is vanilla caviar in the Black Opium Le Parfum scent as well. So that same kind of rich, opulent, really like thick smelling. It's not thick in texture and how it reads off of you, but it's a thick, rich smell, if you will. You get that in vanilla Tana. There's sandalwood, amber, and also white musk in the base. By and large, a beautiful vanilla scent with a little bit of richness and a little touch of floral to it. It is a really, really pretty fragrance. Currently sold out on So Avant Garde, or I would tell you to run over there and use my code Veronica30. You can use that site wide on So Avant Garde anytime. Thank you, So Avant Garde, for the very generous code for my subscribers. But it's sold out. There are samples if you want to try it out, 2 milliliter samples of vanilla Tana on the site. So check that out. I think I will pause the video there. I have some Define Me fragrances that I wanted to try. Maybe we'll do that in another video. Nearly Nude, Lala Woo, Sophia Isabel, and a bunch of other samples that I will pull out. But I wanted this one to be a little bit short and sweet. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances if you have tried them. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care, friends.